How do you know when you've made the right decision? It's the feeling you get in your gut, the one that tells you what's right or wrong. It's the voice inside you that says, I'm buzzed. Better leave the car when it's time to go. Buzz driving is drunk driving.
I'm attorney George Sink. My law firm has the experience to help you get your money faster.
Get George Sink Law Firm on the line. Call 999-9999.
For all of your screen needs, call Christian Metal Screens. Live from Augusta, you're watching News 12, first at 4.
Good afternoon. First and 4 begins with some warmer temperatures before things start to really cool down for us. And as you can see here, we're tracking some rain with First Alert meteorologist Emily Acton, who's breaking all of it down for us.
Yeah, Richard, really south of I-20 and more extreme south of I-20, seeing some rain right now. But, I mean, if you look at the Savannah River, this is our Thurman Dam cam, and we're mostly cloudy, temperatures in those middle 80s, and feels like, though, those upper 80s, and those dew points have started to rise. Yesterday, I was very excited for those lower dew points. Now they have returned, and so those feels like temperatures are a little bit warmer out there, probably add 2 or 3 degrees from what you're seeing on those current temperature maps. But again, tracking some rainfall here just south of Interstate 20, or really well south of Interstate 20, I should say, but along the East Coast, seeing some of those showers right now as well. And this pattern is going to continue throughout the rest of the evening, Richard. On and off showers. Not everybody's going to see rainfall, but I'll have another look at your 7-day coming up after the break.
Breaking news out of Augusta, first at 4. It's been a little more than 10 years now since Augusta had a hockey team. Happening now, the Coliseum Authority is talking about bringing a minor league hockey team back to Augusta, along with a newer, larger arena similar in size to other East Coast Hockey League arenas. Our reporter there covering the meeting says they're also looking at how it works in Savannah with its new hockey team. You may remember the Augusta Lynx once playing at the James Brown Arena before the arena ran into problems making the ice. We'll keep you updated about how these latest talks go about a hockey team returning to Augusta. The Richmond County Sheriff's Office investigating a body found this morning. Investigators say they got a call about a suspicious situation under the Calhoun Expressway Bridge. A crew cutting grass found the body of a white male. It's an active investigation in the early stages. No identification yet, but we'll keep you updated as we learn more about that. The same day Cross Creek's football game was forfeited because of sanctions from the Georgia High School Association. A student was found with a pellet gun on school property. Parents were notified in a letter sent home from the school. Other students told school police about the gun, and that led to the investigation. The school district says the incident will be addressed by the school board's Code of Student Conduct and Discipline. Well, after 20 years of experience in law enforcement, North Augusta's public safety chief, John Thomas, says he's retiring at the end of this year. Chief Thomas took that position back in 2009. The city administrator says job postings will be online within the next couple of weeks. The city says it hopes to have a new chief in place before the end of the year. President Biden joining a picket line in Michigan today to stand with those auto workers 12 days after they went on strike. The White House says it's the first time a sitting president has done that in modern times. The high-profile trip to the swing state comes a day before former President Trump plans his own visit with auto workers. Skylar Henry has the latest on all this from the White House.
President Biden stood with striking auto workers on the picket lines in Michigan Tuesday, telling them they saved the auto industry back in 2008.
We gave up a lot, and the companies were in trouble. But now they're doing incredibly well. And guess what? You should be doing incredibly well, too.
He was joined by United Auto Workers President Shawn Fain.
Thank you, Mr. President, for coming.
The UAW has been on strike against Ford, General Motors, and Stellantis for 12 days now. Among other things, workers are seeking a 36% raise over 4 years, and they want to extend union protections to workers at 10 electric vehicle battery factories.
I'm helping to get these younger generation a good pay.
President Biden calls himself the most pro-union president ever. His trip comes one day before former president and 2024 GOP frontrunner Donald Trump is set to speak with auto workers himself in Michigan.
President Biden and Mr. Trump, either way, they have a right to come.
As the strike expands, the economic impacts are already being felt. Ford announced Monday it would pause work on a $3.5 billion electric vehicle plant in Michigan, and some automotive suppliers in the state are warning that layoffs may soon be necessary. Skyler Henry, CBS News, the White House.
The UAW president called the Ford's halting of work on that Michigan EV battery plant shameful and barely veiled threat to cut jobs. New details on the potential end to the Hollywood writers' strike. The union and big studios and streamers striking a tentative deal over the weekend, with the president praising the agreement as a testament to the power of collective bargaining. With the actors still on the picket line, it's not clear when Hollywood might return to action. While the deals are still under wraps, insiders say the plan does include increased pay, higher residuals from streaming shows, and protections over the use of AI.
People are in negotiating mood. Things are going to get solved.
Sources say late night and daytime talk shows are likely to be up and running within the next couple of weeks, but with actors still out on strike, production on those scripted shows and films remains on hold for now. Hunter Biden suing Rudy Giuliani and his former attorney. The president's son claims they allegedly hacked his devices, violating federal and state computer privacy laws. In the suit, Biden says Giuliani and Robert Costello spent years manipulating, copying, and obsessing over data they were given that was taken or stolen from his devices. Biden's asking for a jury trial on the matter. Earlier this month, he brought a civil suit against former Trump White House aide, and just last week he sued the IRS for allegedly releasing his tax information illegally. Justices of the U.S. Supreme Court returning to Washington. Those 9 justices will meet in person today for their first closed-door conference of their new term. All eyes are on Chief Justice John Roberts and how he navigates this docket. Questions have continued about the court's ethics and legitimacy. The High Court's been surrounded by controversy in the wake of cases like the Dobbs decision overturning Roe v. Wade. Taylor Swift compared to Shakespeare? That's what's happening in one literature class. We'll take you inside the Swifties Lit class when First at 4 returns.
And we're tracking rainfall for our most extreme southern counties, but a couple of bolts of lightning, there we go, picking up in Burt County. I'll have another look at your forecast after the break.
Time of Oktoberfest together, September 29th to the 30th at Bath Gardens.
There's a new flavor in Hardee's Craft Kitchen. Nashville hot chicken. Juicy, 100% white meat dipped in buttermilk, hand-breaded and seasoned to bring the heat. Breakfast, lunch, or dinner? New Nashville hot is goodness in the making.
Well, we can expect to see isolated showers over the next couple of hours. Temperatures will slowly but surely drop off. We're sitting right around 84 now across the CSRA, and we'll reach those 80s by as early as 5 p.m., but definitely after sunset, we'll drop off into those 70s and then 60s overnight tonight. Not going to see the 50s, but lower and middle 60s for those overnight lows, and not expecting a whole lot of rainfall in terms of the longevity of what we are expecting. Really, overnight could see an isolated shower or two start off our Wednesday. It's still definitely going to be a hit or miss. Really, our southern counties, that's where all of this, all of these models, the moisture is definitely picking up more heavily in our southern counties there. But as we go throughout the day tomorrow, we can still see the sun at times. So I have our high temperature in those lower 80s. So really just depending on exactly when that cloud cover breaks up, that will determine our high temperatures. But right around 80 on average. Overnight conditions will be calm. Wednesday into Thursday, we'll drop off into those middle 60s again, so not quite as cool as what we have been seeing, but here's just a little bit of a bigger view of what we're going to see the next couple of days. So this is a couple of hours from now. Might be a little bit heavy in terms of that rainfall, but then we could see maybe a couple of isolated showers north of Augusta overnight tonight and into the early morning hours. But throughout the day Wednesday, things are looking good. Thursday's looking great, and our 7 days not looking bad, Richard. We'll be in those 80s, low 80s, so actually a degree or two below average for the next 7 days. Overnight lows in the 60s, but once we get into the start of next week, We could see those upper 50s as
All
the
right.
night lows.
And we'll be watching for those showers as they push up from the south. Check this out, Emily. Storm clouds gathering in Texas near the city of New Braunfels as forecasters issued severe thunderstorm warnings out there yesterday. This time-lapse footage captured by the National Weather Service for Austin, San Antonio shows storm clouds forming over the coastal plains and south into southeast San Antonio, but the storms building up there out west. Beautiful time-lapse there. Wanted to share that with you. The command of the International Space Station just handed over to a European Space Agency's astronaut today. All 10 crew members gathering to see the departing commander hand over that symbolic key of the space station to Denmark's first astronaut. His name is Andreas Morgensen. He'll be commander of the ISS during this mission, becoming the 6th European astronaut to lead that crew on this orbiting outpost. He'll be in charge for about 5 months until he comes back to Earth early in 2024. Taylor Swift's music is sweeping the globe from the stage to the big screen, and now it's entering the classroom too, with students taking inspiration from her literary lyrics. CBS's Tina Krause has that story from London.
Circulate some paper here, there is a big marker pen.
Professor Ellie McCausland loves teaching literature, especially since her newest class is tailored to her liking.
I'm a long-standing Swiftie. I've been a fan of hers for a long time.
The pop star's flair for looping literature into her lyrics inspired McCausland's blog called Swifterature, which compares references and themes in Swift's songwriting to literary greats.
Especially when she released Folklore and Evermore, I started thinking about the connections between her work and literature.
And that led her to launch a Swift course in comparisons between famous historical writers and the 33-year-old singer.
I'm a huge Taylor Swift fan, and I'm in my master year of English literature.
Students at Ghent University in Belgium study the star's lyrics and debate whether she's a literary genius.
People look down on Taylor Swift, but I just love the fact that you look at like these old historical works through the lens of how it doesn't influence the now.
Taylor Swift is one of our most popular artists of our modern day, and this way it might be easier for people to learn to relate to literature more.
Professor McCausland hopes the modern move sparks a love story with literature over the centuries. Tina Krause, CBS News.
It's true. Some colleges here in the U.S., from New York to Arizona, are also offering Taylor-inspired literature courses. Rice University in Houston is offering one called Miss Americana, the evolution and lyrics of Taylor Swift. That class is full with a wait list, so pretty popular in the classroom as well. Swiftie fans around the world will soon have a chance to see her Eras concert tour on the big screen. The singer-songwriter is announcing on X the move is going global October 13th. That's the same date it's set to come out here in the U.S. Swift says tickets are available now on the tour's website or through your local cinema. A man who nearly drowned in a park in Ann Arbor, Michigan this summer, saved. He was since made a full recovery thanks to several good Samaritans and first responders. Police have just released footage of the day he was rescued. The man slipped underwater while he was swimming. Several people pulled him out after noticing he didn't resurface. Officers then took over. They took over those. A man who nearly drowned in a park in Ann Arbor, Michigan this summer, saved. He was since made a full recovery thanks to several good Samaritans and first responders. Police have just released footage of the day he was rescued. The man slipped underwater while he was swimming. Several people pulled him out after noticing he didn't resurface. Officers then took over. They took over those compressions. The footage also showing the survivor meeting one of those people who helped rescue him, saying, "I'm really grateful to be alive." Looks like it took a whole team effort that day on the dock. Well, here in Augusta, we know the game of golf can really draw a crowd, and now other places across the country are using golf to help attract people to resorts that cater to those who love hitting the links. We'll take you there, coming up first at 4.
Overnight tonight, we'll see lows in those middle 60s, but we'll warm back up for our afternoon tomorrow. I'll have another look at your 7-day after the break.
Cracks in your brick.
All after style. So many beds at amazing sale prices. Even complete bedroom packages in the coolest looks and colors. That's the Rooms to Go Kids Bed Sale going on now.
You're watching News 12 on your side.
If your house can lie on Ramjack.
We're tracking some rainfall currently. Could see a few showers tomorrow, but after that, conditions are looking mostly dry. Seasonable for the afternoon highs and really for the overnight lows. Check out next Monday and Tuesday. Those are probably my favorite days on the 7-day. Sunny conditions in the afternoon, low 80s, overnight lows in those upper 50s. So definitely a fall forecast for us. And like I said, we are still tracking some rainfall this afternoon and evening, and we'll continue to see some rainfall over the next 12 to 24 hours. Highest chance is really going to be around 7 and 8 p.m. tonight. Then could see some for the overnight hours right around midnight. Not expecting any thunderstorms, but as we've seen a couple of bolts of lightning earlier today, I think it's really going to be mostly rain for those areas that do see, but just know there's a small chance. Could hear a couple rumbles of thunder, but then throughout the morning hours, rain chances go down tomorrow, so could see an isolated shower or two, but again, that's a low chance for our Wednesday. Thursday and Friday looking dry. Like I said, Saturday's looking great. We have a great end of the week and into the weekend, Richard. I would say that's looking pretty good.
Sounds great. Emily, thanks.
Grant Me Hope. Finding every foster child their forever home.
And today in Grant Me Hope, we want you to meet a teenager who loves talking to others and playing with her cat. Meet Kamaya.
My name is Kamaya and I'm 15 years old. I really enjoy swimming and skating. I feel like I'm flying, but not. My favorite classes are health class and skills for adolescents. Most of my friends are in health class with me. A perfect family to me is like a family that sits down and eats together and talks about their day. I think the best role for parents are them being caregivers. It's just like taking care of your children and being there for them through thick and thin. Adoption to me is just like becoming a part of the family. The perfect family for me is one that respects my boundaries and supports me. My name is Kamaya and I'm looking for a forever home.
Grant Me Hope, because every child deserves a loving home.
And if you'd like to learn more about Kamaya or anyone we feature here on our Grant Me Hope segment, head to our website, WRDW.com, and search Grant Me Hope. At the sound of the beep, please do not leave a message. That's among some of the new and surprising phone etiquette advice. The unwritten phone rules have been changed with technology, and you know what? They're different according to the age, relationship, and context of the call. A story in the Washington Post says it lays out new guidance on this, that voicemails are out of touch now. If you don't have to feel you should answer every incoming phone call. One etiquette expert recommends texting somebody first.
We should text before we make that phone call, meaning you can say, are you available for chat, or is this a good time to talk? That way it gives that other person a heads up, and if not, you can arrange a better time.
Another tip, they say, don't hammer call or text. If someone's not getting back to you, just assume they're busy. Also, and I love this, mind your ringtones, your voice volume, and the use of a speakerphone in public. Can we get an amen on that? Some businesses suffered during the pandemic. Golf industry saw a surge in players, old and new, heading back to the golf course, and more people are vacationing at golf resorts featuring a driving range inside a beer garden, or maybe a couple of 18-hole courses, a lighted 10-hole short course, and a 2-acre putting course under a huge big screen. It's all part of the $500 million Omni PGA Frisco Resort outside Dallas. It just opened in May.
We brought so many people to the game of golf, and they enjoyed it, and they're staying.
Scotland has more golf courses per capita than any other country in the world, and while only a few lucky ones get to play the course, thousands, of course, visit Augusta National every April as patrons at the Masters. We know and love that. The French government...
Well, we're taking a look at some showers, really, in our most extreme southern counties. Some of them are picking up some heavier rainfall totals, but overall, most of us are dry. I'll have another look at your evening forecast after the break.
And if you're feeling lucky, maybe it's your day to pick up a Powerball ticket. Just how much that jackpot is worth now when First at 4 returns.
First Alert Radar.
Well, here is a beautiful look across the Savannah River. This is our Lake Thurman Dam Cam. And again, a great afternoon to maybe spend outside. I know it's a little cloudy out there, and if let me preface this. If you're in our more northern counties, should be a decent afternoon to stay outside. We are tracking some rainfall for our extreme southern counties, Emmanuel County, Johnson County, maybe even moving into the southern portions of Burke County. But temperature-wise, things are looking good, feeling pretty decent out there. We're in those lower and middle 80s right now, and we're going to slowly but surely start to cool off as we get closer to sunset. Now, we can take a look at what we can expect overnight tonight. Gonna see mostly calm conditions. Could see an isolated shower or two, though, but not anything. When I'm saying calm, not expecting any thunderstorms or things like that. So just some light rain. Overall, partly to mostly cloudy skies, and that's going to start off our Wednesday. Now we'll warm up into those 70s right around 10 or 11 a.m. and then topping off in those low 80s, really right around 80. That's what I have for our high. Those wind speeds will start to pick up from northeast at 11 miles per hour, but overall, really not looking too bad, Richard. I know this isn't a picture-perfect sunny afternoon, what we're seeing today, and really pretty much the same tomorrow. Tomorrow's rain chances, though, do go down. It's really expecting for the evening, this evening, maybe a couple overnight tonight, but overall, really not bad conditions.
Yeah, we're kind of overdue for some rain as well, so it'll be good to get a shower as it moves in from the south. Emily, thanks for tracking that. And you know, we've been telling you about the Augusta Duck Dash, a fall festival and rubber duck race on the Augusta Canal. It's coming up October 21st. This event benefits the Family Wise Place to Dream program, with proceeds going towards buying cribs for babies and beds for kids. If you have a Jeep to show off, there's also a Jeep contest. You can visit AugustaDuckDash.com and sign up. We'd love to see you out there at the canal. Check out the Lantern Show that just opened Sunday in Hong Kong. It's to welcome the upcoming Mid-Autumn Festival there, which falls on Friday of this year. Spectacular displays, and then the National Day on October the 1st. The lantern design, they say, features a blend of creativity and cultural interaction, symbolizing joy and a shared vision of a brighter future. So, beautiful scenes there from Hong Kong. Back in the U.S., the Powerball jackpot soaring to an estimated $835 million after no lucky winners for that grand prize Monday night. No ticket matching all those numbers. The next drawing tomorrow with a cash prize of more than $390 million. Your odds of winning, 1 in 292.2 million, but there's always a chance.
This right here is confidence in a bottle.
Now see it work for yourself after your first application. Your solution is at plexidermtrial.com or call the number on your screen. You're watching News 12, first at 4. Continues.
Welcome back. We're keeping an eye on all of our live cameras this afternoon. Not a drop on the lens right now. This camera in Grovetown looking out over I-20, but you can see some heavy cloud cover off in the distance as we check in with First Alert meteorologist Emily Acton, and we could see a few scattered showers. I think we'd be lucky to get them at this point because, as Riley was saying last night, Emily, it's been a while since we've seen some rain around here.
Yeah, it definitely has. I checked the drought monitor earlier today, and while we're not seeing anything super concerning, there are a couple of areas really more extreme north seeing some abnormally dry conditions. So not anything that we are concerned about at the moment. We had a lot of rainfall over the course of July and really August, so that kind of gave us a little bit of a buffer there. But checking in on those current conditions, currently 84, pretty much around the CSRA in those middle 80s, but the heat index few degrees above that. Now, it's been a couple of days or a couple of weeks, honestly, since we've seen those heat index values above the actual temperature, and that's because we have a higher dew point going on right now, so it feels a little bit muggier out there, but like I said, in those middle and lower 80s, so at least it's not unbearable in terms of temperature. Lots of moisture down to our south. Now, will all of this make its way up to us? It's a little iffy at the moment. I don't think we're going to see this massive rain move to us here in the CSRA, but we still could see a quick downpour or two over the next couple of hours and then again overnight, Richard. But our 7 days looking mostly dry. I'll let you know about that coming up soon.
All right, we'll check in a few minutes. Emily, thank you. If there's not a deal by the end of the week, the U.S. government will start shutting down. If that happens, it could lessen your spending at the grocery store, even the gas pump. If you're a member of the military, it could affect your paycheck. There does not appear to be any movement toward a deal right now. So far, only gridlock. Christiane Benavidez has the latest from Capitol Hill.
Good morning.
House Speaker Kevin McCarthy tried to pin the looming government shutdown on President Biden.
The president can really come down to this and make sure government stays open. All he has to do takes some action on the border to secure it.
But President Biden released a video saying it's the far-right Republicans that are calling the shots now, and he blames them for the inaction.
I'm prepared to do my part. But the Republicans in the House of Representatives refuse to stand up to the extremists in their party. So now everyone in America could be forced to pay the price.
The House will be in order.
McCarthy plans to bring 4 of the 12 appropriations bills to the House floor Tuesday evening. Far-right Republicans have blocked previous attempts to even begin debate on the bills.
I never give up.
Mr. Speaker, I know that, but you think you have the votes.
I've got a lot of things I can try.
The House bills are partisan packages that are favored by Republicans because they include deep spending cuts, but they're also non-starters in the Democratic-controlled Senate. The Senate is preparing to pass a short-term spending bill to temporarily avoid a shutdown. But the same far-right House members blocking votes on spending bills say they will not vote for any short-term continuing resolution.
Christiane Benavidez reporting for us. Now, senators are debating whether to include more funding for Ukraine as part of the short-term continuing resolution. But a majority of senators support money for Ukraine, but it's less popular in the House of Representatives. One thing that won't stop if there's a government shutdown, your Social Security payments. The government says more than 66.7 million Americans were getting Social Security checks as of August. The average monthly benefit right around $1,700. Social Security payments can continue because they're mandatory spending and the money comes from a trust fund. Disability payments will also continue going out. Witnesses have been announced for the first impeachment hearing into the president. The Thursday hearing will focus on constitutional and legal questions. The witnesses include former Assistant Attorney General Eileen O'Connor, the George Washington University Law School professor Jonathan Turley, and a forensic accounting expert. None appear to have direct knowledge of the allegations against the president. It'll focus on allegations of abuse of power, obstruction, and corruption by Biden related to his family's overseas business dealings. The U.S. Army Corps of Engineers busy now constructing an underwater levee that should slow salt water that's moving up the Mississippi River, even threatening New Orleans drinking water. Crews will raise that river bottom near Naomi, Louisiana by about 25 feet. That should help protect the water supply to hundreds of thousands of people in New Orleans and the metro area for about 10 to 15 more days, but it's a short-term measure. Experts say it's only a temporary fix that won't change those widely circulated projections released by state leaders last week.
The important thing to understand about the wedge is that it's truly wedge-shaped. So from the toe on the river bottom to where you see the high salinity levels on the surface of the river is about a 15-mile range or so. So even if the toe is progressing upriver, you still have about 15 miles back before you reach those higher salinity levels at the surface.
So the bottom line here is that salt water should start reaching New Orleans by October 22nd. The long-term solution, they say, is they need a lot of rain from several different regions far up in the Mississippi Valley to wash more fresh water downstream. In the middle of a rising surge faced with adversity, some of us become more focused on making the dream happen. After the break, a little girl is fighting cancer and venturing on 100 hikes.
Well, we're tracking rainfall south of Interstate 20, and I'll have another look at what you can expect this evening after the break. Well, we're currently tracking some rainfall across our southernmost counties here. Well, we're currently tracking some rainfall across our southernmost counties here in the CSRA. Not all of us will see rainfall this evening, but there is a chance of those off and on showers throughout really the overnight hours. We'll slowly but surely cool off. We're in those middle 80s right now. We peaked right around 85 here in Augusta, but again, once we get after sunset, we'll see those upper 60s, and we're only going to bottom out right around 65 degrees tonight, so not much cooler than what we'll see right after sunset. A lot of moisture in the air, a lot of cloud cover. That's what's going to kind of keep us a little bit on the warmer side again overnight tonight. Seeing a couple of showers, like I said, south of Interstate 20 for the after midnight, around midnight. Could see some more wider spread rain. That could be for north of Interstate 20 there. And then throughout the early morning hours tomorrow, still tracking a little bit of rain, but overall temperatures not going to be extremely affected by this. We'll still warm up into those lower 80s for the afternoon tomorrow. Some sun. We'll still see some sun tomorrow. I want to make that clear. Broken clouds there. Going to be mostly clear overnight, but that's not going to help us too much in temperatures. We'll still be pretty warm in those lower and middle 60s. Plenty of sunshine to start off our Thursday, though. I want to take a step back into what we are currently seeing, just a wider view. Again, a couple of those showers south of Interstate 20. Then we could see a few north of Augusta after midnight. But then we should be mostly dry to start off our day, with the exception of our more extreme southern counties. Could see an isolated shower or two, but the majority of the day tomorrow is looking mostly dry. Same can be said for our Thursday and Friday. Weekend's not looking bad either, Richard. Once we get into the beginning of next week, sunny sky conditions.
Nice fall forecast there after the weekend. Thanks, Emily. Medical experts say now is the time to get that updated COVID vaccine before you gather with friends and family for the holidays. The shots are available for free, along with some test kits as well. New data from the CDC shows there were 19,000 hospitalizations in the week ending September 16th. That's down about 4% from the week before. The test will help keep the most vulnerable safe through the holidays.
Risk for grandma, grandpa. We just want to make sure that people know if they have COVID and might be infectious.
Yeah, it's good to know if you are infectious. If you have an expired COVID test, don't throw it away right away. The FDA extended the expiration dates for a number of different test brands, lengthening the shelf life for up to 2 years. September is Childhood Cancer Awareness Month, and one Colorado family has set a big goal with the hope of raising awareness. Danielle Cutler has that story.
Big obstacles aren't anything new for 5-year-old Bellamy.
Mommy.
Yeah.
You think I can cross that?
Back in February, she was faced with the biggest obstacle of them all.
Not in a million years did I think that my child could have cancer.
The treatment for Bellamy's leukemia started off aggressive. 11 nights at the hospital. When they did get home, the outdoorsy kiddo couldn't move like she used to, but still, she loved
being outside in nature.
She slowly worked up her strength. Before her treatment ends in 2025, Bellamy and her mom set a goal: 100 hikes.
But I think we're going up there.
Oftentimes, Bellamy is leading the way.
Some days she's in my backpack the whole time, and some days she's doing more of it.
But no matter what it looks like, they do it together.
I know how much it supports my mental health. For her, it supports a myriad of things. Her mental health, her physical health. We've seen what it has done for her immune system. It really supports her immune system. And this stinks, but the beautiful thing about it is that we are together, and I'll take that silver lining. I'll take getting to be with her.
With more than 20 hikes down so far,
hell.
They have big plans after treatment ends.
What kind of celebration you want to have?
Maybe you can buy me a cake.
In the meantime, the two are hoping to encourage others struggling through something difficult to get outside if they can.
I know it's hard. It doesn't look perfect every day for us, but even little walks, little hikes, we're better off after them.
Oh, and there's one last thing.
Kit Kat's a beauty.
It's a walk in the woods, but a whole lot more, as you can tell. A hiking group there in Colorado hosting a big event next week to help cheer on that 5-year-old and her 100 hikes. A rare sighting of a Dumbo octopus in the North Pacific. Researchers spotted this during an expedition during an actual live broadcast, and what a strange looking thing. They get their name because of their two large fins on either side that look kind of like ears as they fly 13,000 feet below the surface of the ocean. National Geographic says they're the cutest octopus in the world. Who's going to argue with that? Well, from the sea to the stage, they say practice makes perfect, and you're seeing it right here as the Augusta Junior players get set for a weekend performance. Finding Nemo Jr. is based off the movie and includes more than 20 performers, most of them performing more than one role in this. A few of the cast members, including Nemo and Dory, stopped by Morning Mix to tell us what to expect.
What's so impressive about these young students is that the majority of them play more than one character. So about, I would say, 85% of the cast plays about 4 different characters throughout the show.
That's a lot of talent on stage. There's going to be performances this weekend over at the Kroc Center. Those dates are September 29th, 30th, and October 1st. To buy a ticket, to get more information, head to AugustaPlayers.org and break a leg this weekend. Looks good. Well, if you're house hunting, the thought, should I buy or should I build? Maybe that's crossed your mind. When First and 4 returns, we give you some tips to make the decision maybe a little easier.
Oh no, wait up! Day at Eyeglass World, the world's best way to buy glasses.
Well, we're currently tracking some showers right now, but let's look at our 7-day. Gonna skip over tomorrow. We'll get back to that in just a second. We're gonna see partly cloudy sky conditions for our Thursday and Friday. So any of those outdoor activities, maybe some football games, conditions are looking great. I mean, we'll reach those lower 80s for the afternoon highs, overnight lows in those lower 60s. Really can't get better than that. I think I said upper 80s. I mean lower 80s, and that's going to stay true throughout the rest of our weekend. So any tailgating plans, things are looking great. Once we start off our work week next week, sunny sky conditions. We might warm up a degree or two, but nothing super drastic. Overnight lows will actually drop into those upper 50s. So we really do have a great next week or so in store for us. Now, like I said, we are tracking some showers right now. Same can be said for our Wednesday, but taking us hour by hour, the peak chance of seeing your best chance of seeing some rainfall, there we go, it's going to be around 7 or 8 p.m. tonight. We'll get a little bit of a break there before those overnight hours. We could see another shower or two, and that's really going to be Augusta and north for those later overnight hours, but still seeing a small chance throughout the morning and throughout midday tomorrow, probably roughly a 15% chance again throughout the day, but that's really not going to stop us from reaching our temperatures in those lower 80s. So a few degrees cooler today. We've topped off right around 85, so a couple of degrees cooler for us on our Wednesday. And then after that, like I said, Richard, we're going to stay a little bit below average. Average this time of year is 86, 87, so we are feeling good for the first full week of fall.
Yeah.
I'm not mad about these overnight temperatures either.
You know, it's hard to believe October is almost here, and it's going to feel like it. That's lovely. Love that. Fire pit weather almost. All right, let's talk about your next house. To buy or to build? That's a question a lot of people are sorting out as they wait for this current real estate market to even out. Rachel DePompa speaks to a real estate investing expert about the pros and cons of building a new home.
The real estate market is tough right now, whether you're looking to buy or wanting to build and customize a new home. If you're building a home that may take 6, 7, or 8 months to finish, then Brad Smotherman, a real estate investor out of Nashville, says you're running a lot of interest rate risk because you might think the rate is going to be one thing, but it could go up or down as the home is built. Another thing to consider is the overall cost.
It's always cheaper to buy existing than it is to build. There's a lot of supply chain issues and labor shortage issues in home building right now, so that could also cause delays.
Also, it's important to know the property taxes you owe when a new house is finished are generally going to be higher than if you're buying an existing home on the market. And Smotherman says if you decide to have a home built, pay attention to the cost as the project is underway.
You really want to make sure that you're looking at the invoices and making sure that things aren't really being fluffed along the way. Or some home builders take on the risk of pricing and they have a set price in the contract that says, hey, any risk of cost overages are my issue, not yours.
He also says in most places around the country, it's still a seller's market. So if you are going to buy, make sure you have a pre-approval letter for how much of a loan you qualify for before you begin making offers. He says you also want to be able to move quickly if you find your dream home. With this watching your wallet, I'm Rachel DePampa.
And building is always a land of 1,000 details almost every day. Okay, when it comes to our high school football coverage, what do you want to see? Which team featured Under the Lights Week 5? Here's a look at our Game of the Week choices for you. We've got Evans versus Lakeside, Laney taking on Washington County, and Thompson taking on Josie. You can scan that code. You can vote right now. Let us know where to send the crew for our featured Game of the Week. Under the Lights coming up Friday night.
Good news is the weather Friday is looking a lot better than what we're seeing right now, tracking some showers really south of Interstate 20. I'll have another look at your forecast after the break.
And no matter how you like them, now is the day to eat them any time of day. We're putting pancakes in the spotlight when First and 4 returns.
You're watching News 12 on your side. At Davis Appliance and Furniture, we have the best deals in town. It's the perfect time to update your living space with a new sectional or get that big TV you've always wanted. We offer no credit needed financing and delivery options to meet your needs. For the top brands at the lowest prices, visit Davis Appliance and Furniture.
Get ready to rate our inventory. No payments till December. Thompson Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram Fiat. We make buying easy.
Davis on Deansbridge is your one-stop shop for everything home. Update your bedroom suite or mattress set today. We offer no credit needed financing and delivery options to meet your needs. For the top brands at the lowest prices, visit us at Davis Appliance and Furniture.
We're still tracking a few showers south of Interstate 20, but not all of us are seeing that rain. A little bit of an overcast sky for our evening, but still getting some sun rays. And temperatures are in at those lower 80s now. We topped off right around 85, and again, now we're in those lower 80s. Still feels like 84. Those dew points not as crisp as what we saw yesterday, so it feels a little bit more on the humid side. Now let's take a look at what we can see over the next 12 hours. Slowly but surely we'll drop off into those 70s as early as 6 p.m. and then well after sunset we'll see those 60s overnight. Thinking roughly around 65 degrees for our average low. Again, going to be off and on showers. Really around midnight, that's when we can expect to see showers north of Augusta. But as of right now, just tracking some rainfall for our most southern counties and along the East Coast. Seeing lots of rain over in Savannah and even Charleston. But like I said, throughout the overnight hours, could see an isolated shower or two. But to start off our day tomorrow, not looking too bad. We'll start off in those middle 60s, warming up into those low 80s, right around 80 for our afternoon high. Those wind speeds will pick up a little bit, around 11 miles per hour for the afternoon. So that will be something a little breezy for us, help us feel a little bit better out there. But again, we have a great 7-day in store for us. Once we get through, that's chance of showers Wednesday. Thursday, Friday's looking really good. Temperatures in those low 80s. For the afternoon highs, overnight lows in the low 60s, and then the rest of the week pretty much the same. Might warm up a little bit for our Saturday, so any tailgating plans is still not looking too bad. 84, I think we can deal with that, especially the last week of September. Then once we get into the beginning of next week, which if I think I'm correct, Richard, is the first week of October, we're going to see sunny sky conditions.
Here we go. Fall is here. Emily, thanks. Okay, it might not be on your calendar, but this is National Pancake Day. Whether you call them flapjacks, Johnny cakes, griddle cakes, hot cakes, pancakes are a traditional breakfast favorite. Dating back, they say, more than 30,000 years making pancakes, one of the oldest breakfast foods in history. But I was thinking bacon and eggs have been around a long time too, I think. That's the way I look at it. But look at that stack. Wow, just add syrup there. Okay, Airbnb offering a one-of-a-kind stay for you. Fans of Shrek, The Airbnb offering 2-night stay in Shrek's mud-laden, moss-covered, murky-watered swamp. That's in the Scottish Highlands. The stay comes complete with a waffle breakfast, no pancakes included, courtesy of Donkey, of course, a parfait, earwax, candlelight, you name it. It's going to be open for booking starting October 13th. And get this, Airbnb says the bathroom is about 20 meters away from the main living area. Just so you know, the bathroom's not included. You got to walk to that. So, enjoy your stay. Still to come, the federal government says South Carolina owes nearly $500 million to its
They say patience is a virtue.